Hey there, it's Alison Mclean, owner of Ignite Your Wellness, where I help entrepreneurs grow their business while caring for their health and enjoying life in the process. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about a very important topic. It's the 3 simple steps, the Ignite Your Wellness process on how to grow your business. And this is super important because in this community, in this group, we have a ton of healers, we have a ton of yoga teachers, all kinds of coaches, health, wellness coaches. We have practitioners of all sorts, physical therapists, speech pathologists, healthcare providers. And of this vast set of practitioners, one common theme I see a lot of is feeling a lot, sometimes taking on our clients' burdens and stuff. If you can relate to this, let me know. Drop it in the comment. And or feeling a lot of guilt, a lot of doubt, a lot of overwhelm, beating ourselves up in the process of running a business. And I think that is the difference. And this is why this work has been really calling to me. As you know, I have my doctorate in physical therapy. I'm also a yoga teacher, yoga therapist. I had a brick and mortar clinic for many years. And this is why specifically this work is really calling to me now, is because there is a big difference sometimes between growing a business in a different market, such as let's say finance, for example. And I can be completely wrong because there's some very caring, compassionate, and people that pick up on energies and stuff in the finance world. But sometimes we'll say corporate marketing can be very cold and structured. And as practitioners, often we look towards those systems and structures to know what to do. So if you feel like you're struggling in bringing in clients or cash consistently, or you feel guilty charging what you're worth, but yet you're exhausted because you can't pay the bills and you have to hustle, or you're experiencing a lot of scarcity or operating from fear, or you need to market and get visible and put yourself out there, but you're not really quite sure what to say or where to even show up because there's like a cajillion platforms, right? Or how to fit it all in, because all of this, even that I just mentioned, is a lot, and you want to learn how to protect your energy, get more energy so you can show up and do more of the work that you're called to do, then you're in the right place in this group. We're going to go over all this and more. Today, very simply, I'm going to break it down to 3 steps, and you can start to implement this right now as soon as you're done with the video. Okay, if you're watching this on the replay, comment replay and let me know. I would love to hear. So here are the 3 simple steps. I'm going to break it down. I'll tell you what they are first, and then I'm going to break it down, and you can let me know your thoughts on any of this in the process. Good to see you all. Okay, so step number 1 is listening, right? Step number 2 is learning, and step number 3 is living. And you might be saying, well, Alison, this is not groundbreaking, earth-shattering stuff. And really, it's not. It's simple, so anyone can do it. But I'm going to explain where things go wrong and how to refine the process for yourself. Because no matter what you're doing right now is perfect. However you're showing up, however you're growing your business, however you're doing your work is perfect. This is all just refinement. And that actually gets into step number 2, the learning. So hang with me here for a minute. But first we're going to talk about step number 1, the listening. And there's actually 2 different types of listening. Most of society, most of what we're taught growing up is external listening. So we grew up learning from our parents and or our caregivers, people that were the people we looked up to in the world and provided us with safety and food and clothing. And then we started to get into school, and we learned from the school systems and math and science and all the things. And so all that was very external learning. And that carried on as maybe we went to colleges and maybe postgraduate work. And then all of a sudden, here we are in owning our own business. And we're still these seekers of external learning. So continuing to look outside of ourselves for validation that we're doing it right. Now, there is a time and place for external learning, especially if you want to learn a specific trade like yoga or career, if you want to get a specific license or degree like physical therapy, right? There is a time for external learning. However, we can become reliant on that, and it can hold us back in so many ways. In fact, you might have heard of like the student role versus the teacher role, and always being the student and never believing in yourself or having the confidence to take part in becoming the teacher. Because a lot of you, I know, especially you yoga teachers, have a lot to say and a strong message to share with the world and a lot of knowledge. Yet for many reasons, we hold ourselves back. And that is a lot of the work that I do in the mastermind with a lot of my students, is really figuring out, okay, you know a ton, you get your people great results. How can you share this with the world? And why don't other people know that your business exists? The other part of listening is the internal listening. And this is often not, I would say, it's the missing link. It's often discredited or underestimated, the power of internal listening. And this might be because a lot of the external knowledge that we gain from outside of ourselves, right, is proved by science and backed by processings and now corporate America, right? But it's the internal listening that's really going to allow you, and in the context of this group, this container, if we apply the internal listening, it's really what's going to allow your business to skyrocket. And truthfully, I work a lot with entrepreneurs on growing their business, but also learning how to care for their health along the journey. Because if your health isn't vibrant, or if you're not taking the time to understand what is going on with your health, if you have something going on, because we're only human beings and sometimes life is not perfect, but part of the caring for your health, and what I've learned personally with my own health journey, is it requires learning, yes, from external practitioners outside of yourself to get that third degree perspective of really what might be going on and getting to the root cause. But part of the healing is learning how to access your own innate wisdom and your own innate learning. And same is true with your business. The way to really stand out from the crowd and separate yourself from all the noise and all the competition, because all these areas, right, there's a ton of physical therapists, there's a ton of yoga teachers, that in your area there might be a ton of coaches, but it doesn't really matter, and they don't have to be considered competition if you are tuning into your internal compass, your internal guide of knowing what to do, when to do, and you have the confidence to follow your voice and your truth. So step number one is actually quite complicated if you think about it in terms of, okay, how do I know when to follow external or internal listening? And that internal listening isn't often talked about. But when you take a step back and you just notice, okay, I have all this information from didactic learning, from trainings, from gurus, from mentors, taking all that and just synthesizing it through you, developing your own systems, developing your own processes, and taking your hands off the wheel, letting go of the control and trusting your intuition, really, and connecting deeper to your purpose. You can just keep it as simple as that, and showing up when you're inspired and doing the work that calls to your heart, really. And all the rest is just details. So that's step number one. Step number two, and if any of this is resonating with you, then just comment below. Do you do more external listening? How are you with internal listening? I would love to hear. Let me know. Step number two is the learning. So as I said, we might listen from our teachers, our mentors, our guides, but yet we have to draw that information into us. So the learning is actually learning from ourselves, learning from our intuition, learning from our experiences, learning tactics, yes, and how to grow our business, systems, processes, yes, but alchemizing it into a process that speaks to you. And most importantly, the learning is whether you're learning from yourself, right, from the listening of what you're gaining from your own experiences, those nudges that you hear or feel called from, or learning from your teachers, your gurus, trainings, that sort of thing. Are you learning from a place of sufficiency, meaning knowing that right now all you have is enough? You are perfect, you know enough right now. Or are you learning from lack, right? So you're hustling, scrambling, trying to feed yourself with as much information as possible, so then you can get your people better results. So then you can show up and be the practitioner like you truly want to be, right? Instead, let all that go. Let go of the waiting to become the practitioner that you want to be, and start owning and showing up as that person right now. So then you can learn from sufficiency. And how you feel it, how that shows up energetically, day to day, moment to moment, is when you're learning from lack. And so then that puts you into scarcity and hustle and searching for the right answer and the magic formula and the perfect blueprint and all the right steps, right? That is so draining. It's so exhausting, because you're always going to be seeking. You're always going to be questioning. You're always going to be doubting. But if you learn from a place of sufficiency, then you know you have enough right now. You can get your people results right now. All the rest is just a bonus. So let me know. What place do you learn from? I would love to hear. And both of these, the listening, the breaking down all this, the learning, so yes, the tactics of growing a business, and learning how to follow your intuitive nudges along the way and your heart, this is what we also work on in the mastermind. And I know some of you just want the skills, right? You might be a new yoga teacher, or you might be a healthcare provider wanting to bring more yoga, more treatment and skills that are from the heart. So for me personally, when I had my brick and mortar here, and I was really combining yoga, the healing arts of yoga, physical therapy, and massage, so a lot of myofascial release and energetic work, it was a bit of an art combined with science. And if you're really looking for that skill set to hone up on more of that from a place of sufficiency, so really just boosting the knowledge that you currently have, then the Radiant Being Teacher Training is for you. And right now, in the mastermind, if you sign up for the mastermind, you get that Radiant Being Teacher Training for free, because sometimes I find that entrepreneurs, especially in the healing arts place, keep searching for more skills, not know to be a better practitioner, but have no end goal or have no idea what being a better practitioner even means or looks like, right? They're always seeking validation outside of themselves. So if you're looking for a mentor that you can learn from, and it's not just a one and done thing. You're not just going to show up for a weekend training and then I'm going to send you on your merry way and hope that you retain all the information. That's the biggest mistake I think with trainings out there these days, is that you learn so much in one weekend or 2 weekends and then that's it. There's no more. It's hands off. Go out and do it in the world. Good luck, right? And then if you don't get it, come back and take the training again type of mentality. So I developed the Radiant Being Teacher Training, and I'm continuously adding into the portal, into the knowledge base as I grow and evolve. And so you get pre-recorded content. There will be in-person events. That is going to be exactly the details that will come as the groups evolve. But most importantly is you get access to me weekly, indefinitely. As long as the program is alive and thriving for infinite amount of time, you get access to weekly calls. And you show up when you have a question, or you listen to the replays at your own time. And you get that for as long as you need it. So you can learn the information. You can do step number 3, which is actually living, actually implementing the knowledge. And this is where I feel a lot of people get hung up, right? They might be good at listening, sometimes more of the external listening, starting to do the internal listening. They're learning a lot from didactic and things outside of themselves, starting to learn and create awareness from their experiences in life and from, again, internal knowledge and wisdom. But when it comes to implementing, they're getting stuck, because the thing that is hard about living what you hear, what you listen, and what you learn from, the part that is tricky is that requires sometimes new habits and new awareness, catching yourself in the moment when you're resorting back to old techniques, catching yourself in the moment when you're resorting back to old ways of thinking. So it's the living and having the courage to do something new when you're not sure of the outcome, when there's an unknown. And so sometimes people try it once, right? And they're like, oh, that didn't work for me. Or they look for the immediate results of trying new knowledge or doing something a new way or showing up in a new way. And it didn't go immediately as planned, or they're looking for the immediate results. And so then they give up and they think it didn't work. But really, they're just starting the journey. Or maybe they did it a couple times. They might be on the cusp of a breakthrough. And for me, that is what transformation really is all these small steps or micro wins or micro transformations, whatever you want to call them, that leads to the bigger transformation, the butterfly emerging from becoming the caterpillar. But people always, they start and then they look for the butterfly and they forget about all the stuff that they have to go through in the middle. And that, my friend, is exactly what we work on in the mastermind. So you can show up and you have someone to help you through the tactics, alchemizing it with your purpose, your heart, your intuition, uncovering what really holds you back so you can take step after step after step and then become the butterfly, which will start the process all over again, right? So because then you'll evolve and you'll have new problems to solve. And so is the life of an entrepreneur. So the 3 simple steps, right? You can start doing it right now. Start to just become aware. You don't need me to get you started at all, is to listen both externally and internally. You're going to learn, again, externally, internally, didactic, books, trainings, from your heart, from your experiences, from awareness from those experiences, and then you're going to live it and you're going to implement it. So try it. Let me know how it goes. I would love to hear. Let me know over the next week or so. I'm going to be putting this video in the guide section. So there's a new guide section in this community. I'm going to try to create a little bit more of structures and process here to go with our weekly flows of information to keep you on track. And if you're new to the group, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are watching these, coming into the guides for the first time, let me know how it goes. I always read all the comments. And if you're wanting to take a step deeper, this is really resonating with you and you're like, oh yeah, I get hung up on trying to always search the skills and never implementing the knowledge or becoming the teacher, or I'm always listening to people outside of me and really doubting my own tuition and my own processes, and that's really holding me back. And if you're really struggling with this, then I highly recommend just signing up for a free strategy call. It's an hour, a full hour with me, right? And so what you invest is your time. And what you get out of it, though, is uncovering really what is going on, right? What are those dreams and goals? And maybe you don't even have them. Maybe you don't even know. So we awaken them. And then we make a concrete step to help you. What are those steps to reach the goals? And if I have a program, right, it's not always about me trying to sell you something. I think sometimes that's what holds us back from signing up for calls like these. There's no hard sales pitch here. If I have programs like the Mastermind or the Radiant Being program that you are appropriate for, I'll let you know, because it's in your best interest for me to help you to get to your goals. I can help you get there faster. It's like fast tracking your success, right? But if I don't, I'll also let you know, like, yeah, you're just, it's not appropriate. It's not a good fit for these programs. But you know who might really help you is this practitioner, right? The benefit of being in a community like this is I'm meeting so many wonderful entrepreneurs, and I might know just the person that is able to help you with your specific problem if I'm not that person. Or maybe none of those, maybe you don't need to listen to anyone. Maybe you've done so much external listening that you just need to take those next steps and listen to yourself. That might be the work, your next work. But you don't know unless you don't show up to a call. So if you want to take your next step right now, I highly recommend signing up for a strategy call. And again, the investment's your time. What you're going to get out of it is awakening your goals, the root cause that's really holding you back, and then next steps for the future. And next week, we'll show up in the group with another topic. If you would have one specifically that you would love to hear, drop it in the comments right now. I'm starting to plan the end of the year and 2022. In fact, in December, I'm going to have, I'm really looking forward to this. I've been really called to, I haven't been teaching weekly yoga classes or my monthly or sometimes bi-monthly workshops, and I've been feeling called to doing a little teaching, specifically though for the entrepreneurs, for the healing practitioner, for the yoga teacher. So I'm going to create an event for the end of the year. It's the end of the year wrap up. It's going to be a nervous system reset. So to let go of 2021, so you can come into 2022 energized, restored, strong, mobile, confident, with a plan. So the second, it's going to be a 90-minute deal. It's free. And the second half is going to be planning 2022. What's your 2022? What's it going to look like? We're going to get some milestone markers and for quarter one. So you can, I won't say hit the ground running, because there's no need for that kind of scarcity mentality. There's no reason to rush, to hurry. But you'll wake up knowing, you'll feel confident in knowing exactly your vision for the year and what to do in that first quarter from sufficiency, from certainty, from confidence instead of fear, doubt, and hustle. So if any of this resonates with you, let me know, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Okay? Bye for now. I'll see you on the mat.